Hello everybody and welcome to zlatanobojmtg's first part of our M14 set review. Today I'll be going through some of the recently spoilt cards, giving my thoughts on what's good, what's bad and what's downright insane. So sit back, relax and enjoy. So here we have Ring of Three Wishes. With a real Aladdin-esque thing going on, this card hits the spot flavour wise. However cool it is though, given the cost requiring 10 colourless mana if you want to both cast and activate on the same turn, I think that only fringe decks will want this. With that being said however, it will be fun to play in EDH, but in Standard and Limited, the jury is out on this one for me. Archangel of Thune is up next, and I think this card has the potential to see quite a bit of constructive play due to one keyword: Extort. Think about it. Each extort trigger is not only going to drain one from each opponent, but will put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control per trigger. Insanely powerful card that may give rise to a grindy Orzhov deck in Standard. Who knows? Scavenging Ooze is back, and I really don't have to say too much about this card. It's brilliant, and because of that it's been made a mythic. It's going to be a huge blow to Reanimator decks, and I can see this getting played quite a bit in Standard. Also, it's meant to be the promo card for Jewels of the Planeswalkers 2014 for PC gamers, so PC gamers, get pre-ordering now. Fastwood Hydra is another Hydra, but this time with an effect that helps you keep going even after it dies. Nowhere near as strong as it needs to be to impact constructed play, however not unlike other Hydras it will be awesome to smash face within Limited, not to mention casual players adore these monstrosities. So now we're going to take a look at the Staff of Mage's cycles. M14 includes a cycle of artifacts very similar to those from M12, like Angel's Feather, that allowed you to gain life when a certain coloured spell was cast. This time, however, it includes Landfall life gain for lands of the correspondent colour. Interesting cycle that could be possibly worth a late pick in Limited, but never in Standard. Another cool reprint by Wizards is Chandras Phoenix. Red deck wins has changed fairly significantly over the past few years, and it may be back in a big way given this reprint. However, this will depend heavily on what burn spells are printed in M14, and I doubt we'll be seeing one with lightning bolt stats anytime soon, so the jury's out here. I really hope there's going to be some great burn spells because I love smashing face with Chandras Phoenix. It's the best feeling ever. When I saw a 4-mana red enchantment, I expected to see an appallingly large wall of text with a mediocre ability. Instead, Wizards gave us Awaken the Ancient, a card that turns one of your mountains into a 7/7 creature with haste, permanently. It can still tap for mana, which is a plus, and I have a rather good feeling that this may see play in red deck wins, not to mention the powerhouse it will be in Limited, especially given that monocoloured nature of core sets make it fantastic for Limited play. Glimpse the Future is not quite Ponder. It's clear that Wizards doesn't want us to have Ponder back in Standard. While this is close-ish, without a Delver deck to build around post-rotation, and with Self-Mill being an unreliable and unused archetype, this card seems very underwhelming to me. I'm not sure I'd even play this in Sealed, or even Casual, but then again I'm not a huge fan of blue, as I am primarily a Gruul mage. I may be wrong, but Shadowborn Apostle may be one of the only cards ever printed with a deck can have any number of cards named on it. This card is designed to allow you to tutor up a huge demonic creature and put it onto the battlefield, with Griselbrand being one of the best targets in Standard right now. Johnny players of all types will be creating crazy deck lists around this particular interaction, however post-rotation, without the Innistrad block that gave us some of our biggest demons in Magic history, this card may be all smoke with no fire. Shadowborn Demon is an absolute Limited bomb. Even with the minor drawback, a 5/6 flyer for 5 must never be sniffed at, especially when it has a nice removal spell stuck to its already dangerous body. Standard, again I'm not so sure, but a possible first pick in draft to build around and a sealed all-star for sure. Due to its 7-drop status, Devoured Invocation is not going to see any Standard play. However, with only 1 mana of the 7 being coloured, expect to see plenty of it in Limited and Casual decks. Primeval Bounty is amazing. I love this card. Flavour wise and utility wise, it hits the spot for me and is begging to be put into my Gruul EDH for sure. As for Constructed, I see it as a little too expensive and slow to make a real impact, however upon rotation, who knows, we may see this slot into a deck. Limited, it could break a stalled board easily and will give you reach late game, so go and pick it now. Well, not now obviously because there's no event, but still, pick it when it comes around to it. Ajanis Chosen is an awesome build around me card that could also go places in Bant. With a decent amount of hexproof and with Armadillo Cloak getting a pseudo reprint in Dragon's Maze with Unflinching Courage, this could possibly be the future of the Bant hexproof archetype. Who knows? As far as limited, we'll have to see what enchantments are available to us when more cards are spoilt in the future. By my knowledge, Colossal Whale is only the third whale card ever printed, and you know what they say about 3? It's the magic number. But not in this case. No standard playables here, folks. But that artwork, I must say, is extraordinary. In limited, this will be good, with Landwalk being a fairly good evasive ability on a 5/5 body, and the Exile clause could also become relevant, but not relevant enough to make the leap from limited to standard. In limited, play this card. Windreader Sphinx is a huge defender or attacker in blue, and also gives you a nice card advantage whenever you or your opponent's flyers try to break the board state with attacks. Standard wise, it is far too expensive and won't see any play. Limited bomb, if you see it, go blue. I'm not so sure about Scourge of Valkas. Of course this will slot right into any Kalia EDH build, but elsewhere I'm not sure. Limited, yes, a 4/4 flyer for 5 is always going to be good, and the fire breathing will be useful, even if its first ability never hits off. Unless, of course, you have a board of Dragon Hatchlings, which will most likely get a reprint given this card. Standard, however, this is a no-go from me. I love goblins, and I love goblin diplomats. For a start, the full art promo here is beautiful, and it fits the flavour of goblins perfectly. Adorably annoying little green midgets. Although these goblins don't have haste, they do have a nice effect that forces your opponent's creatures to attack you, leaving them open for a full-on goblin invasion. I'm not sure where this is going in standard, or anywhere in fact, but it's a goblin, and so I've fallen instantly in love with its annoying charm. So that's it, folks, for the first edition of our M14 core set spoiler review. I'd take what I say with a pinch of salt. I'm not an actual expert on Magic at all, I just enjoy playing the game, casually EDH, and some standard decks and modern-y things, but I just enjoy looking at these cards so much. I hope you've enjoyed watching the video. There'll be much more to come from this channel soon, so subscribe, like, comment, get involved, and thank you very much again for watching.